Hello students, good morning. Here it is Mrs. Tanya, and we are going to start the poetry that is John Brown by Bob Dylan. Okay, Bob Dylan is the poet of this poem. He was born in 1941, and this poem you can see it was written in 1962. 1962 this poem was written, and this poem is about, it is a ballad. Ballad means a poem in a form of story. Like when you go through this poem, you feel like it's not a poem, it's a story. So that is the ballad. Now here, this is a story of a young man. This you will see a young soldier. His story is there. And he proudly marched off to war. And he is so much determined, confident, and he feels so proud to do his duty. So he moves towards the war ground. Then he returned disfigured, but when he returns back home, he was not the way proudly he marched, but he was fully disfigured. You can understand a soldier when going to a war, what all he will face. He will face many difficulties, the war ground, the battlefield. He will face problems, and this way he had faced problems. The enemies were there and his body was completely mutilated. He was disfigured, so when he returned back, his body, he was on the wheelchair. He walked off proudly, leaving his house, but when he returned, he was on wheelchair, and there he understood the life, what is real life, what is the duty of a soldier, what we are, and he is claiming this poem as he is stating it as an anti-war, Anti-war means a statement against war. Because in war, what happens? People kill each other, people die. Even the team who has won, they also have to lose their people. So here, John Brown is the character, and Bob Dylan want to focus that war never gives any benefit. He is here like condemning the war, and he's saying that war is not at all good, and we have to end up that. So the poem starts like this. John Brown went off to war to fight on a foreign shore. His mama sure was proud of him. He stood straight and tall in his uniform and all. And his mama's face broke out all in a grin. Now say John Brown went off to a war. He went for a war, and his mother, she was feeling so proud of her son. John Brown stood straight. He was looking so handsome, so good, tall in his uniform. And his mother's face was broke out all in a grin. She smiled. She was admiring her son. She was so happy that her son is looking so good. She was admiring him. Oh son, you look so fine. I am glad you are a son of mine. Mother said, oh my dear son, you are looking so good. And I am feeling proud, I am feeling happy that you are my son. You make me proud to know you hold a gun. She says, when you hold a gun, I feel so proud. Do what the captain says. Lots of medals you will get, and we will put them on the wall when you come home. She says, go and do what your captain says, and come back, and we will put the medals, whatever medals you are going to get, we will hang it on the walls of the house. So here, the mother is not at all worried or sad sending her son to the war ground. She is not knowing the problems what the son will face. So she is supporting the war. She is supporting the war and saying, the son, you go. And you have the war, see what the captain says. When you return back, bring the medals, and I will put the medals on the wall. As that old train pulled out, John's ma began to shout. When she went to the railway station to see off her son, when the son was leaving, she was bidding him. She was shouting, yes son, go, enjoy, bring the medals. Telling everyone in the neighborhood, that's my son that's about to go. He is a soldier now, you know. She was telling everyone in the neighborhood, you know my son who has gone. He is a soldier. She made well sure her neighbors understood, and whenever she used to tell the neighbors, she made it sure that they understood that her son is a soldier. She got a letter once in a while, and her face broke into a smile. When When the son went there to the war ground, in between once a while he used to send the letters to the mother, and she used to feel so happy. As she showed them to the people from next door, and she bragged about her son with his uniforms, and brag means she go on talking about the son. She move on talking about the son to one corner to other corner and telling everyone, see my son's letter. He's a great soldier. He's doing this, he's doing that. Like that she used to go around and tell about her son. And these things you called a good old-fashioned war. Now here the poet puts up the question, and poet becomes here sarcastic and says that at this idea of war, he's saying this is the war. The sarcastical, the means in a sarcastic way he notifies that is this a war? The child has gone to the war, and here the mother is so happy. She is not even thinking that what the son is facing there, whether he will come alive or dead. And here she is going on and telling the goodness of war. Oh, good old-fashioned war. Here he gave a exclamation and said, this war is not good at all. Oh, good old-fashioned war, means to say this war is not at all good. Then the letters ceased to come. For a long time they did not come. Then what happened once? The letters stopped coming. For a long time, they ceased to come for about 10 months or more. About 10 months passed, letter did not come. Then a letter finally came saying, go down and meet the train. Your son is coming home from the war. The letter came that go to the station, the railway station. Your son is coming from the war. Mother was very happy. She smiled and went right down. She looked everywhere around. She smiled. She went around to the railway station. She looked everywhere for her son. But she could not see her soldier's son in sight. But she did not see her son. She was searching him. She was seeking him. But she did not find him. But as all the people passed, she saw her son at last. When she did, she could hardly believe her eyes. And when everyone passed from the station, finally she saw her son. But she couldn't believe that he is her son. Oh, his face was all shot up and his hand was all blown off. What was the condition of the son? His face was shot up, his hand was blown off. And he wore a metal brace around his waist to support. He was wearing a metal brace. He was sitting on the wheelchair, couldn't stand properly. And for support he was wearing the metal brace. His hands were not there, face was all disfigured. He whispered kind of slow in a voice she did not know, and he said something. But the face was so disfigured, everything was gone out, so he couldn't say, he couldn't pronounce the word properly. He couldn't say, only whispered. While she couldn't even recognize his face, she was unable to recognize the face of her son. Oh Lord, not even recognize his face. The poet is saying, oh Lord. The mother did not even recognize the face of the son. Oh, tell me, my darling son, pray, tell me what they done. She said, my dear son, tell me what happened, what they have done to you. How is it you come to be this way? He tried his best to talk, but his mouth could hardly move, and the mother had to turn her face away. He wanted to say many things, but he couldn't. And the mother couldn't see this condition of the child because her expectation was something else. And when you keep some expectation from someone or from something, you won't get it. You don't know, you get disturbed. So mother got disturbed. She turned her face. Don't you remember, Ma, when I went off to war? Now John Brown said in a sarcastical way. He told his mother, don't you remember, Ma, when I went out? You thought it was the best thing I could do. You were thinking it was the best job I am doing. Going to war, you were so happy to send me. I was on the battleground. You were home acting proud. He said, I was on the battleground. I was struggling for the life, struggling for my country, and you were acting proud here. You were proudly saying my son has gone to the war. You wasn't there standing in my shoes. He said, you were not in my shoes. What I said, only the wearers know where the shoe pinches. Who wears, that person only knows the problem. Who have the problem, they only know. The son said, I was going through, I knew. You were not knowing, you were only acting proud. their God, what am I doing here? Now John Brown said, I wondered. When I was on the battleground, I was thinking, what I am doing here? I'm trying to kill somebody or die trying, but the thing that scared me most was when my enemy came close and I saw that his face looked just like mine. He said, I was on the battleground to kill someone, to make someone to die or die by means or for me to die. But when my enemy came close and I saw that person looks like me, he's a human being. I am killing a human being and for without any reason. I am going to kill someone who looks like me. Oh Lord, just like me. That time John Brown realized that another man is like me, and what a big crime I am going to do to kill a person who is just like me. And I couldn't help but think through the thunder rolling and still. He said, I just was thinking that time, and suddenly what happened? The shots started. That I was just a puppet in a play. I felt like I was a puppet. And through the roar and smoke, this string is finally broke, and a cannonball blew my eyes away. He said, when I was thinking that moment, the string was done, and a cannonball means the explosion did place, and my eyes went away. Means his little thought of humanity took away his life. When he thought, what I am doing here, why I am going to kill someone else? That time the enemy attacked, because that same feeling or that same notion, that same idea did not come to the enemy. They were only there to kill, and they killed. The explosion did, and his eyes, his hands, everything was out. And he turned away to walk. His ma was still in shock, and he turned away. And the mother was shocked at seeing the metal brace that helped him stand. She was shocked to see that my son is standing with the help of a brace. He was walking proudly, and here he is standing with the help of brace. But as he turned to go, he called his mother close. But as he turned, he called his mother, and he dropped his medals down into her hand. He dropped the medals down because he understood my mother is not considering what I am going through. She is either in shock or she is not knowing what to do. She was expecting something else, and I gave something else. So he understood. So what he did, he dropped his medal. That shows that it indicates his disgust at the apparent glory of war. The dropping of medal is telling the disgust in the apparent glory of war, and by parting from his medal, he makes a story an anti-war. By parting his medal, now he is not at all interested in that medals, and he was feeling relaxed that I did not kill someone. I am saved, and he was feeling good, even though handicapped, even though having a lot of problem, but he was feeling good. And he thought that I have not done anything crime. Medals he gave to the mother, and this way, dropping the medals, he gave an anti-war statement to the poem. And this way, Bob Dylan ends up the poem telling that war is not at all good. We should condemn the glory of war. We should condemn it. And we should only make the people understand war is not good. It only gives destruction. Better to live in brotherhood. Did you understand?